Yes, indeed. It is the SummerSlam 2024 post show right here on the Ringside Report Network. Let's get to it. Start. Yes, indeed. We are here. We are live on the Ringside Report Network. It's a Saturday night, and we just watched WWE SummerSlam. How is everybody doing tonight? Watching live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, all the Rumblers. It's a big Rumble tonight for WWE's SummerSlam. Quite an event, many title changes, second biggest show of the year for the WWE. I am rolling solo tonight. Johnny North is out wrestling. He actually beat up a bushwhacker tonight. I could show you the footage here on the program. Pretty disturbing images of Johnny North, my good friend and broadcast partner, beating up one of the WWE Hall of Fame bushwhackers tonight. This is not like, 10, 15 years ago even. This is now. Bushwhacker Luke is an older gentleman, and Johnny North was beating him up tonight. And I will show you the footage here on the program. So get ready for that. We're going to have some exclusive footage of Johnny North beating up a bushwhacker tonight. He said he left him, and he said he shouldn't be in the ring, this guy. I would read you the text that I got from Johnny earlier, but I don't want to expose anything personal because he was ruthless, as I told him he was. Ruthless. He says Luke should not get in the ring. He got what he deserved. That's the direct quote from Johnny North, and I'll show you the footage. But we're here to talk about SummerSlam, and it was quite a show. Lot happened. Braun Breaker, new Intercontinental Champion. LA Knight, new United States Champion. Gunther, new World Heavyweight Champion. Nia Jax, new WWE Women's Champion. And Cody Rhodes, still the WWE Champion after help from a returning Roman Reigns. Of course, the real Tribal Chief, the big dog, the head of the table, with a slightly updated theme song, made his return tonight at SummerSlam, as we predicted he would last night on the show. We predicted pretty much everything on this show. Not a lot of surprises. A couple matches didn't go the way we thought. Drew McIntyre beating CM Punk was not a huge surprise. We did both think Punk would likely win, but that was kind of on the fence. I was more surprised by Nia Jax beating Bayley. I thought that was a big shocker. I didn't see it going that way. But I could see, with the relationship there with Tiffany, and since Tiffany has the money in the bank, Nia and Tiffany have something going on there, so I could see that story playing out where they're friends, but Nia's the champion and Tiffany has money in the bank, so it's awkward. So that seems to be the direction there. Nia Jax beating Bayley tonight. That was a big surprise. A lot happening. Dominic Mysterio fully turning on Rhea Ripley, turning on the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day fully imploding tonight. Finn Balor turning on Damian Priest as well. So everybody kind of bailing in the Judgment Day. I'm not really sure what the group will look like come Monday night. Who's in? Who's out? Does it still exist at all? We'll find out. I want to know what your match of the night was. I want to know what your score on 10 for this pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it. I'm old school. I still say pay-per-view, brother. It was okay. There was nothing on this show that made me think, wow, this is like match of the year. This is incredible. I can't believe they're doing this or that. But nothing that was objectionably bad. Nothing was offensive on this show. It was a solid show. So I want to get us started off strong with a score on 10 for this, and I'm seeing people in the chat. I'm seeing my man Derek John. I'm seeing my man Leor, my man Ryan Katz, CSL Lorne, Antoinette. I want to know your score on 10 for this show. I'm giving it a 7.5 on 10. I think 7.5 is fair. It wasn't unbelievable. I don't think it was good enough to hit an 8, but I think, it was definitely far above passable. It was fun to watch. It didn't feel like a chore. It was all right. So 7.5 for me, and there's Ryan Katz popping on the screen, 7.5 for him too. I think that's fair, 7.5. I want to know what you thought of WWE SummerSlam. What is your score on 10? And what is your match of the night? I think match of the night is tougher than just giving an overall score. I think overall score, whatever, but looking at these matches top to bottom, I had a hard time when I was, between the main event that we just saw and right now getting prepared for this show, trying to come up with a match of the night. I'm watching this show and thinking, yeah, this is okay. This is okay. I liked the Punk match. I thought that was good. I liked the Priest and Gunther match. I thought that was good. I liked Cody and Solo. But for match of the night, I think I'd have to go with Gunther and Priest, because I think that they delivered the best quality wrestling match. They delivered the most violence, the most intensity, just with their hands and fists, hands and feet. Hands and fists. What do you make fists with, idiot? Come on. Yeah, that's right. Alex Terrace giving it a 6.5 on 10. Derek John says, I actually didn't see the whole show, but give it a 7 on 10. Antoinette says, sorry, I was bored, felt like a SmackDown. Do you have a score, Antoinette? No score? She also says, I don't have match of the night, but to choose one was Priest, still wanted him to win. Oh, there you go. So I think she's choosing a match of the night, but I don't know. And she's not quite giving me a score. She didn't like it, but no score. Come on, Antoinette, give me a score. Oh, she said 5. Oh, sorry, Antoinette. I'm sorry. My apologies. I didn't see. There's a lot of action in the chat. This is why I need Johnny with me to help me out. Did you write 5? Oh, pay-per-view, give it a 5, but Roman return is my highlight of the night. Give that a 10. Oh, okay, I saw that. There you go. All right. I'm seeing it now. So, kind of varied scores. 5 and 7.5. I'm kind of at the higher end. Derek John giving it a 7. Alex giving it a 6.5. Franco 316 giving it a 7 on 10. Seems about right. No one's really scoring it too high. Like, it wasn't a perfect show. I think you needed some matches to really kind of go above and beyond. On paper, I didn't think that we would see anything go too crazy. There wasn't really a need in a lot of these matches to do too much. It's not AEW where they kind of rely on their in-ring work primarily to get them over and get them by. Francois Belin says, predictable, 7 on 10. Leor says, I only caught the last 3 matches, so 8 on 10. Yeah, it's better when you catch, the main things. Yeah, it was predictable, right, Francois? It was. I agree with you. I mean, we predicted it completely. We predicted this show. I mean, not completely, right? We got a couple of them wrong, but for the most part, the big surprise was Roman Reigns. But it didn't feel like a surprise because Johnny and I both were talking about it last night as the likely outcome, just given the numbers and where it all stacked up, right? Because it was Cody versus Solo, so it's 1-on-1. But then Solo has Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And then Randy and Kevin, they come out, they take those guys out. And then, here comes Jacob Fatu. And then maybe Roman would take him out or take out Solo. Eventually what happened was Roman came out and took out Solo. And that was the main event. Solo and Cody had a regular match for a while. They were just kind of wrestling. Solo was catching Cody when Cody was going for some of his signature moves. He was cutting him off. Solo was doing well. They made Solo look strong in the early part to, give Solo a good showing. It's a main event of SummerSlam. It's a huge match. It's the biggest match of his career by far. So they wanted to give him a good showing, and he had a good showing. Solo looked good in this match. Solo upped his level as a main eventer in this match. He looked, legitimate there. There were moments where I thought, oh, man, are they actually going to give the belt to Solo? They did a good job on some of the false finishes. I think they did a few too many. They did, so many false finishes in this match, but some of them were good. Cody eventually got the better of Solo during the match and goes for the crossroads, which immediately sends Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa to the ring, otherwise known as the Gorillas of Destiny. That was their New Japan tag team name. I don't think they're calling them that in WWE, but I like that, Gorillas of Destiny, G-O-D. So the G-O-D, they beat up Cody, hit their finisher, and it's a 2 count. And then they keep beating up Cody. Kevin Owens comes out, and he's got to run down a very long ramp to get to the ring. And we know Kevin's going to come out too, by the way, because on Cody's entrance, he walks out of his bus with his dog, Pharaoh. We all know Cody's dog. And then he runs into Arn Anderson, who gives him a pep talk because this is, I guess, AEW Cody, and he's still got Arn Anderson as his manager sometimes. I don't think have we seen Cody with Arn in WWE? Maybe during the Roman run? I don't know. Arn Anderson gave him a pep talk and said, 2 friends you already know about are on their way, and you've got friends in high places. So he kind of alluded to Roman Reigns, but he didn't quite say who he was talking about. And then Cody kept walking and then gave Pharaoh to somebody and then took his hoodie off and put a jacket on and this helmet and mask. It was like this big elaborate entrance for Cody that mostly took place backstage. And then he walked down. Very happy, by the way, walking down to the ring, Cody Rhodes. He was so happy, you knew there was no way in hell he was dropping the belt. Like, this guy, if he was losing, he would not have been that happy. Just smiling, slapping everybody's hand, like celebrating before the match even happened. So Kevin Owens shows up to help Cody because the Tonga and Tama have shown up. And KO takes everybody out for a bit, but then it's the numbers game, right? It's 3-on-2, so they beat up on Kevin Owens. And then Randy Orton comes out, and so Kevin Owens, when he runs down the ramp, he just kind of runs down the ramp, like, kind of serious, but at a certain point, he realizes, like, my God, this ramp is so long, and he kind of gave a look like, I got to keep running here. This is ridiculous. Randy, when he comes out, his friends are getting beat up in a world title match. He comes out, he's running, but also kind of like, hey, posing. He's slapping hands with a lot of fans on his run to the ring. There's no real urgency. Like, he's jogging to the ring, but he's also halfway celebrating the fact that he hasn't been on TV in maybe a month or whatever, and now he's back and he's getting a big pop. So he's just happy. Randy's entrance was ridiculous. Like, completely out of character. If your buddies are that you're going to make a save, there's no intensity in Randy. Randy's just like, hey, it's me, Randy. What's up, guys? I'm going to go get those guys now. And, of course, he gets them. He hits one. He hits what? Tonga Loa with the RKO. And then Tama Tonga gets hit with the stunner from Kevin Owens. So they fall out of the ring. They're gone. And then Randy hits Solo with a power slam, and Kevin hits a frog splash on Solo, and then Cody hits a crossroads. And I thought at that point, like, oh, maybe they're just doing that, because that was a lot to take. You took a Randy move, you took a Kevin move, not their finishes, but still moves. And then Cody's finish, but Solo kicked out. So that was good. That was a good spot. And then Kevin and Randy at that point, after Solo kicks out, they're like, yeah, okay, we're going to go get Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. They roll out of the ring, and they start brawling with those guys. They disappear, and we don't see them again. That was it. Cody then gets the steel steps, and he hits Solo with them a couple of times. And then Solo ducks the steps, hits Cody with a spear. The stairs go flying, and that's another 2 count. That was a nice one, too. With the stairs flying, that was dangerous. That was a good spot. Solo goes to do the running butt thing into the steps with Cody kind of sitting there in front of the stairs. So his head is going to get crushed between the steel and Solo's butt, running at speed. But Cody dodges, and Solo's butt goes right into the steel steps, which, looks like it hurts, but it's just funny. And then Solo takes 2 crossroads at that point, and Cody's looking for the third, and then Jacob Fatu shows up. And then he hits Cody with like a dive, and then he hits him with a moonsault, and then he drags Solo on top of Cody for a 1, 2, and Cody kicks out again at 2. And then Fatu drags Cody outside the ring, puts him on top of the announcer's desk, goes to the top rope, and does this splash through the desk on, through Cody. The desk goes crashing, a table breaks, everything. And Fatu starts yelling because it looked like his leg hit the table awkwardly, and he's screaming like he's really hurt. And he might be, because he sold it like he was really injured and he did not move afterwards. He just kind of sat there. But the rest of the match kind of went on and didn't really need him. So I'm hoping he's not hurt, but it looked like he was. But it seemed to be fine to go on without him, because the rest of the match went on, perfectly smoothly. So it was a strange spot there. I think he was maybe selling so that he was out of the picture when Roman showed up, so Roman would only have to deal with Solo. But I'm not sure, quite frankly. I mean, I'm not sure if Fatu is actually hurt, because he did take the side of that table on his leg kind of awkwardly. He is new to the WWE. He's not used to their tables. It's possible he hurt his leg there. But he's like, oh, forget it. Don't worry about me. Go get him, Oos. Like, he's yelling at Solo to go beat up Cody. So he's kind of in character still as he's like yelling, screaming in pain. So it was hard to tell if he was selling and that was supposed to happen or not. So it was very good, no matter what. Because Fatu staying in character made you think, oh, maybe he's just selling. But then the way he sold it made you think he was really hurt. That was a weird one. I didn't see. Yeah, Ryan Katz says, anybody see a ref put up the X? I didn't see that. I didn't notice. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's actually hurt. I'm not sure what happened. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure the news will come out. I hope he's all right. And the match continued. Solo, at that point, Cody's been beat up by Jacob Fatu. Solo rolls Cody into the ring after going through the announce table there. So Cody's pretty beat up. And Solo hits a top rope splash on Cody, but it's another 2 count. Cody kicks out again. Cody fights back, hits a Cody cutter. They're both down, and then Roman's music hits. And Roman shows up, and Solo can't believe it, and Roman hits a Superman punch and a spear on Solo. Crowd is going nuts. Like when Roman hits a Superman punch and then goes in the corner to do the hoo-wah, the crowd is everybody on their feet going crazy for the return of Roman Reigns. So he spears Solo, leaves him land, walks out of the, kind of looks at Cody, and then walks out. And Cody, like, he can't believe it. He just stares at Roman the whole time. Cody played it so well. He stares at Roman the whole time, picks up Solo while staring at Roman, hits the crossroads while staring at Roman, pins Solo while staring at Roman, and is announced the winner and continues to stare at Roman while when Solo loses, Roman is staring at the whole scene. When Solo loses 1, 2, 3, he kind of looks down and is like a little disappointed because his family member lost to Cody, I think, and he was a part of it, which you can imagine Dwayne The Rock is not going to be too happy about, that Roman just cost Solo a championship at SummerSlam against Cody Rhodes. You know, The Rock's not going to be happy with Roman Reigns, so that may be starting something there. You can see that playing out, right? A lot of seeds planted tonight for all sorts of bloodline stuff with Roman versus Solo, Roman versus Rock, Roman and Cody again. I mean, there's still, Roman with Cody, then Roman against Cody. There's still so much to do. And Cody and Roman just kind of stare at each other. And that was SummerSlam. Cody and Roman. And Roman returning. And it's going to be Roman versus Solo at some point. But I think it'll be Roman versus Cody at some point as well. So that was a big match. Roman Reigns returning. Cody Rhodes retaining the WWE Championship over Solo Sikoa in the Bloodline Rules match main event. A lot went into it. There was a lot going on there. Franco316 says, was his entrance song different? Yeah, it was different. Roman's song was a little different. But I thought my match of the night was Damian Priest and Gunther. I really liked how hard they were hitting each other. Gunther was bleeding from his chest from the chops. At one point, though, Gunther kicks Finn Balor. Finn is ringside. Gunther kicks him. Finn takes a kick. Priest then hits his chokeslam finisher a little bit later in the match. And Finn puts Gunther's foot on the ropes, saving Gunther from losing to Damian Priest. So Priest is like, what the hell, Finn? It was weird because Gunther kind of did get physical with Finn at some point because he thought Finn was just there kind of looking, and Gunther kicked him. So it was odd motivations there for Finn Balor. But other than that, you kind of understand Finn is turning on Priest. The whole Judgment Day is falling apart. But Finn saved Gunther by putting Gunther's foot on the ropes after Gunther took Priest's finisher. And then Gunther had Priest in the sleeper, but Priest escaped and then went after Finn Balor because he was mad. And then Gunther from behind grabbed Priest, hit him with the powerbomb, put him in another sleeper, choked him out. Priest went to sleep, and that was that. Gunther wins, and he retains, or he becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. So Gunther is now the champion on Raw. Finally. Been waiting for this. The Gunther era has begun. I thought it was match of the night. This guy, everything he does, he elevates. It's serious. It's hard-hitting. He puts his body on the line. He's tremendous. Congratulations to Gunther. Extremely well-earned championship victory tonight. He is worthy of being the top guy on Raw. He is worthy of being a guy to take the WWE into the next 5 years. This is the guy. I'm very happy to see Gunther take the spot at SummerSlam, become champion at SummerSlam. It's a big show for WWE. It's a big event for Gunther. Very happy for him. Antoinette says, hate Gunther, not my champion. Oh, my goodness. Franco316 says, why did Finn turn? I think that there was jealousy in the Judgment Day. I think Priest was kind of assuming the leadership roles when he became champion, and Finn was a little bit annoyed about that. I think there was some stuff there. Easter Sunday on Rumble says they should have pulled the title off Rhodes. It would have streamlined the inevitable Bloodline storyline. I don't know about that. I don't think Solo taking the belt at this point would have been the right move. And Ryan Katz says, it's funny, What Culture Wrestling talked about moves no longer considered a finisher, and that included the sleeper hold. Look, moves aren't a finisher unless you make them a finisher. It really doesn't matter what it is. It could be a sleeper. It could be a punch. It could be a clothesline. It really could be anything. The finishers don't, How come people don't do side Russian leg sweeps anymore? How come people don't do atomic drops anymore? How come people don't do backbreakers anymore? When I started watching wrestling, those were, kind of standard moves that everybody did. Nobody does them anymore. Anything could be a finisher. I think a lot of the basic moves are gone from what you used to see. I think that's more of a noticeable issue with wrestling today. I don't know if it's a problem. I just think that it's something you notice. A lot of moves you used to see pretty commonly, you just don't see anymore, including a sleeper hold. I think more wrestlers used to, use a sleeper, and now it's just not used anymore. I like to see Gunther bringing it back. Why not? It's a solid hold. You're not supposed to be able to use choke holds in wrestling, but the sleeper is not at the neck. It's constricting the jaw and the head, so it's a different hold. You're not technically in pro wrestling, the old school rules. I don't know if anybody still applies them, but there were no choke holds. That was always the thing. So Gunther, new world heavyweight champion. Drew McIntyre beats CM Punk. Seth Rollins was the referee. Seth was letting the guys fight outside the ring as long as they wanted, but he did kind of stop them from doing certain things, like putting the boots to each other in the corner for more than a 5 count. He pulled both guys off when they started to do that. Drew took a chair at one point, and he's like, look, I could finish off CM Punk. This is what we both want. Just turn around, look away, and I'm just going to kill him with this chair. And Seth was like, maybe. And he kind of turns around for a second, and then he takes the chair away from Drew because he didn't want to do it. And then Drew was mad, and he pushed Seth's face, kind of mushed him. And then Seth went to hit Drew with the chair that he had taken away from him because he was upset, but Drew ducked, and Seth almost hit Punk with the chair, and then Punk rolled up Drew for at least a 5 count, but Seth was so upset with himself for almost hitting Punk and so frustrated, he just kind of was like looking away and not counting. So Punk had the match won right there, but Seth being a bad referee. Punk at some point locked in the Anaconda Vice and had Drew just kind of done in the middle of the ring. And then he broke the hold because he noticed that Drew was wearing the bracelet, which I think took away a lot from this match, the focus on the bracelet. I know they've made it a big part of the storyline, but god damn, it's just some beads on a string, dude. The fact that CM Punk, this like tough guy who's hard as everything, and like the bracelet, my beads, like you can't make another one identical to what you have there. What? It's got the name of your wife and your dog on beads, and it's driving you insane that Drew McIntyre has stolen this? Really? You're a grown man, and you're mad that he took your bead bracelet. You bitch. Get over yourself. What is that? If I'm CM Punk, I go, what? Like Franco's saying, just break it and be done with it. Like, yeah. Punk, if he was cool at all, he would just grab the bracelet, rip it, and make Drew eat it. Stuff the beads up his nose during the match. Stick him up Seth Rollins' eyeballs. I was going to say something else, but that's just not PG, bro. Take it easy. But the bracelet, the focus on the bracelet in this stupid match. Like, come on, guys. What are we doing? Punk had him dead. Finishing move. Finishing submission move. Middle of the ring. Couldn't move. Done. And he breaks it to grab the bracelet off the wrist of Drew McIntyre. And then Punk walks right into a Claymore for a 2 count. Just kicks out. Almost lost the match. Had it won and then almost loses because he needed his bracelet back. And the bracelet goes flying. And Seth picks it up as the referee and just kind of puts it on his wrist. Right? You think, innocuous move. But no. There was more to come with the bracelet. Punk goes for the GTS. His finishing move has Drew up. But he gets distracted by Seth Rollins because he notices that he's got the bracelet now. And now he's mad. And Drew clotheslines Punk into Seth, who bumps out of the ring because Punk gets into Seth's face. He's all mad because of the bracelet. And Seth's like, I just picked it up, man. Take it. I don't care about this stupid thing. I'm not Drew. I'm not weird like him. I don't know what this weird thing you guys have with the bracelet is, but I'm not in this. But anyways, he gets bumped out of the ring, Seth Rollins. And then Punk then hits the go to sleep on Drew for a 10 count, but Seth's out of the ring and he slowly comes back, but he's too late. And then Punk's really mad at Seth. And then Seth is mad at Punk. And he's like, hey, it's not always about you, asshole. And then Punk then hits the GTS on Seth. He's like, boom. And he's like, and he takes his bracelet back and he's like, it's not always about me, but it's never about you. And it's like, oh, God. And then Drew kicks Punk in the head, or in the balls, and then he kicks him in the head with the Claymore, and Seth kind of revives, and 1, 2, 3, Drew won. Ugh. Antoinette says, I love the old school pants Seth had on. I like that Punk at one point when he's yelling at Seth, he's like, nobody cares about you or your Sabu pants you have on. I think he said Sabu pants. Maybe even stupid Sabu pants. I'm pretty sure he called them Sabu pants. They did kind of look like Sabu pants. He's the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, visionary, revolutionary Seth freaking Rollins with his Sabu pants. God. That is a good one. CM Punk. Funny. But the bracelet, I mean, come on. What are we doing here? You're grown men arguing over beads. And it's not like, all right, man, you're pissed that he stole the thing. But then it caused so much turmoil in this match. It was ridiculous. Punk had the match won on 2 separate occasions, and the bracelet ruined it all. And you know what the worst part is? At the end of the match, when Drew won and he pinned Punk, he took the bracelet back. So now Drew has the bracelet once again. So the bracelet bandit continues to roll on. And we're going to continue with this whole bracelet thing because Punk hasn't got his bracelet back. And we know he's obsessed with that because he's weird. Punk screwed Punk. That's right, Antoinette. Cost him the match. Punk screwed himself. Punk screwed Punk with his dumbass bracelet. What kind of bullshit was that? Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, yeah, you know. But the more I think about it, I go, what are we doing here? What are you arguing about here? He had sex with your wife? No. He's claiming he had sex with your wife, but he didn't. No. He has pictures. She was mine before she was yours, like Ric Flair. No. He killed your dog. No. He kicked your dog. No. You got into a backstage fight and you choked him a bit. No, that's the other guy. He stole a bracelet that you had? And you need it back? That's the big thing? Like, trying to find this personal issue, trying to make it personal with Punk, but this is the best they can do. It's pretty weak. And the fact that everybody's just kind of rolling along with this is pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous. Liv Morgan retains her WWE Women's Championship, beats Rhea Ripley in the opening match. It was a fun opener. Dominic was in Rhea's corner with Rhea Ripley until the end. Rhea, at one point, re-injured her shoulder. Didn't really, but, was acting like she did. And she was selling her shoulder being hurt again. And Liv went for a dive. Dominic pushed Rhea out of the way and took the dive from Liv, which didn't really make sense considering what happened later, but okay. Dominic cost Rhea the match on purpose. So why is he saving her earlier on? Why not just let her take it? Instead of pushing her out of the way and taking it, If he knows he's turning on Rhea, why does he appear to stay with Rhea at one point during the match, but then later he's like, yeah, actually, because they have a plan for the finish? Like, it didn't. That part didn't really add up. Rhea at one point kind of slammed her shoulder into the announce desk and pulled on her arm, and she's like, I popped it back in. And then she goes after Liv, and Liv is terrified. It was kind of cool. It was a pretty badass move from Rhea Ripley. It's not what she actually did. It was, an acting job, but it was good. It worked. The crowd knew what she was doing. It translated well. She executed. Liv Morgan went for a chair. Rhea kicked it out of her hand, hit the riptide, and then Rhea went for the chair, but Dom takes the chair out of Rhea's hand, and you think, oh, Dominic is taking it out of Rhea's hand because he doesn't want Rhea to get disqualified, and that's what he's telling her at the time, no, you don't want to get disqualified here because if you do, you won't win the belt. And then there's a chair in the ring, and Dominic goes and distracts the ref and is like, oh, there's a chair. And he's jumping, talking about the ref. And then Liv hits her finisher on the chair for the 3 count. And Dominic is happy about this. So Dominic, on purpose, distracts the ref so that Liv could hit her finish on Rhea on the chair to get the win. And then Liv is takes the belt, kind of rolls out of the ring and is sitting there. Dominic picks her up and kisses her. And they kiss for a little bit. So that happened. They are now a couple on TV. Dominic is with her. And he helped Liv win. So Rhea is going to be wanting revenge. And I could see Rhea and maybe Jey Uso teaming up. They seem to have teased something like that already. Or maybe Rhea and Damian Priest, because they both seem to be on the outs with whatever Judgment Day is left. Judgment Day was backstage, and they were all claiming to Damian Priest, like JD, Carlito, and Finn, they had no idea that Dominic was going to do all this, but maybe they were lying to Damian Priest, because eventually Finn did turn on Damian Priest. But are JD and Carlito aware of all these actions? Does it matter? We'll find out on Raw, I guess. So Dominic fully turned on Rhea Ripley. No longer Dirty Dom and Mommy. It's over. For now. It's pretty good. Antoinette says, Dirty Dom will reunite with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania like Elizabeth and Macho Man. I don't know. Is Dom Elizabeth? Braun Breaker beat Sami Zayn. Match was short. It only lasted about 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes. It was the shortest match on the card. Hit him with a spear, and then hit him with a running spear, And that was that. It's quite something. Quite an impressive performance there from Braun Breaker. Short match. I don't know why it was so short. Hope Sammy's okay. Short match, drop the belt. You think, ooh, is the champion okay? Is he injured? Is that why they made it so short and he's dropping it here? I don't know. But Braun Breaker, new Intercontinental Champion. Not a spectacular match. Was what it was. Got the job done. And now Braun Breaker's on his way. He's got his first gold in the WWE, on the main roster. His father, Rick Steiner, and Uncle Scott Steiner were in attendance celebrating. I saw a nice video that WWE posted, seeing those guys happy to see their young guy get big success at SummerSlam. I'm a big fan of the Steiner brothers. And I know Rick Steiner said some pretty awful things, so I kind of feel a little weird about him. But and Scotty. I mean, hey, who doesn't love Big Papa Pump? So it's good to see those guys happy for, it's just good to see, a father and uncle happy for their nephew having success in wrestling. I kind of put everything else away from that. Just a nice moment for the family, the Steiner brothers, and baby Steiner, Braun Breaker, who got an Intercontinental Championship win and defeated Sami Zayn tonight. LA Knight also won his first bit of WWE gold, beating Logan Paul to become the new United States champion. LA kicked out of the Logan knockout punch. Logan hit him with his punch, and LA kicked out after 2. LA jumped to the top rope and hit a very nasty superplex that looked like half a brainbuster. It was just a very nasty suplex that he hit Logan with, springing up to the top rope and just flinging him. LA beat up a couple of Logan Paul's buddies at ringside, but then Machine Gun Kelly, who was there, who accompanied Logan to the ring, who's also from Cleveland. Cleveland has some pretty awful celebrities. Logan Paul, Machine Gun Kelly. Like, I long for the days of Drew Carey in the Royal Rumble. This is bad. Cleveland needs some better people to represent for them. They're looking rough. They got The Miz, Logan Paul, Machine Gun Kelly. These are your stars? Come on, guys. Cleveland. Get it together. Logan Paul had Machine Gun Kelly with him and gave him brass knuckles. And then Logan hit LA with the knuckles and went for his version of the buckshot lariat where he flips over the rope and goes for a clothesline, but he flipped over the rope and jumped right into the blunt force trauma BFT finisher from LA Knight. 1, 2, 3, yeah! LA Knight finally gets something in the WWE. Big moment for him. New United States champion. Solid match. Solid match from Logan Paul and LA Knight. It was actually pretty damn good. Nice to see Logan Paul lose. Nice to see LA Knight win more than that. I really like to see LA Knight win. LA Knight getting something. Very well deserved. Very talented guy. Just electric personality, great charisma, great promo, and a really good wrestler. So, really happy to see him shine tonight at SummerSlam. Great match. Just top-notch. 12-minute match. Really solid up and down. Nia Jax beat Bayley. Kind of a surprise there. The match was what it was. Tiffany Stratton came out, kind of teased a Money in the Bank cash-in. Bayley knocked her off the apron. Nia then took control. Hit her with a couple bonsai drops. And pinned her. New WWE Women's Champion, Nia Jax. And with, of course, Tiffany Stratton with that Money in the Bank, they're going to do something there. Jelly Roll, who's a country music guy, they tell me. I don't really know too much about him. I've heard the name. I see him around, but I don't really care for his music. He was there. He sang God Bless America, and then Triple H came out, welcomed us to SummerSlam, and then introduced Jelly Roll for another song that we had to sit through, which, it wasn't awful. I don't hate it, but it's just, I don't know. It didn't seem like I didn't need to hear it again, I heard it. I was like, yeah, all right. It wasn't bad, but I wouldn't go and want to listen to it. Like, I'm not seeking him out. But he was involved in the wrestling, too. And I liked Grayson Waller making fun of him. I thought that was funny. Miz and R-Truth came out to announce the attendance. And Grayson Waller and Austin Theory interrupted them and started making fun of Cleveland and The Miz, which was all pretty good to me. I like that. And then Austin Theory says everyone in Cleveland looks like Jelly Roll, which, if you've seen the guy, I think is an insult to the city. Grayson then says, Jelly Roll, you're the only guy to make music worse than R-Truth. And then Machine Gun Kelly is there saying something ringside. And then Grayson's like, hey, calm down there, buddy, Machine Gun Kelly. You're not that much better either. You're pretty awful. And he is terrible. I've heard Machine Gun Kelly, and he's not good. But maybe, I'm sure he's got fans. I'm not one of them. I think he's I've heard his stuff, and I go, oh, that's bad. Like, I hear a Jelly Roll, I'm like, yeah, all right, it's whatever. But I hear Machine Gun Kelly and some of his raps and stuff, I go, oof, this guy sucks at rap. He is not good. So, yeah, he's no good. I don't like him, and he's just annoying as a personality. And Miz goes, hey, we're in the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here. You can't make fun of Cleveland. And then, R-Truth is like, that's right. Look, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we're in front of the Rock and Roll Express right here. And he thinks Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are the Rock and Roll Express, so that was kind of funny for a bit. And then Jelly Roll shows up and hits Grayson Waller and Austin Theory with a chair, and then choke slams Austin Theory, and Theory jumped up as high as he possibly could, just jumping 10 feet in the air to make Jelly Roll look good in that choke slam. And then they all hit a 5-knuckle shuffle together, the John Cena finisher. And Jelly Roll kind of fell over when he did it and had a lot of problems getting back up to his feet. Truth had to help him. It was kind of sad. Like, the guy was struggling to stand up. Not good. So that happened at SummerSlam. And I think that's about it. So I'm giving it a 7.5 on 10. My match of the night is Gunther, the new World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Damian Priest. I thought it was a very solid wrestling exchange. Yes. Antoinette says, exactly, Dave. Many love Jelly Roll, but not my kind of music. Oh, Antoinette, not a fan either. She says, can we get Eminem next time? Yeah, that would be fun, right? I don't think he is interested. WWE has never done anything with him. Johnny North in the chat wants Limp Bizkit. All right, we're getting musical requests now for the WWE. Johnny North, of course, I did promise that I would show you the vicious footage of Johnny North beating up one of the legendary Bushwhackers and calling it the possible end of Bushwhacker Luke, which is just violent and vicious from the legendary Johnny North. And I think I'll be able to show you this footage here in just a moment. WWE SummerSlam tonight. I'm seeing a lot of scores varying. Some 6s, 6.5, anywhere in that range to 7, 7.5. I think 7 and 7.5 is the average for this show. It was a solid show tonight. Not the best effort of the year from WWE, but it was definitely an entertaining watch. It was fun, top to bottom. Nothing bad. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of title changes. A lot of turns, right? The Judgment Day fully imploding. We had Dominic Mysterio in the opening match turning fully on Rhea Ripley, joining Liv Morgan, kissing Liv Morgan. We had Braun Breaker beating Sami Zayn to become new Intercontinental Champion. Then right after that, LA Knight beats Logan Paul to become the new U.S. Champion. Then right after that, Nia Jax beats Bayley to become the new Women's Champion. Then Drew McIntyre beats CM Punk. Gunther beats Damian Priest to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. And Cody Rhodes, with the help of the returning Roman Reigns, defeats Solo Sikoa to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. Very, very eventful SummerSlam. But no match to me, that I would think of as a match of the year candidate. Nothing unbelievable out of this world. A lot of solid wrestling, a lot of good matches. I really enjoyed the Drew and Punk match. I thought it was fun, but that bracelet stuff kind of took something away from it. The Gunther and Damian Priest match I thought was good. The Finn Balor kind of interference, and then that stuff was a little weird. I wouldn't have had Gunther get physical with Finn at all if Finn was going to help him a few minutes later. I thought everything made sense in the Cody solo thing, but there's just so much going on there with Kevin and Randy and Roman and Fatu and Tama and Tonga and all these guys. And it took a while. It was all right. It was well executed. The crowd popped for it, but it was kind of predictable the way it all went down. And, as far as the wrestling match, it wasn't really a wrestling match. It was just, a spectacle. I thought Gunther and Priest had the most hard-hitting, most impactful wrestling match of the night. So that's my match of the night. And overall, the show was good. It was fun. So a 7.5 on 10. I thought LA Knight and Logan Paul had a really good one. I thought Drew and Punk did well for what they were doing, given all the drama and stuff with Seth. It was just too much emphasis on the referee, too. There was just so much focus on Seth, you almost forgot Punk was in the ring. So it was a bit annoying there. But yeah, Cody and Solo was fun. It was entertaining. It did what it did. Gunther and Priest was really good. Drew and Punk was fun. Nia and Bayley wasn't the best. LA and Logan was really good. Braun and Sammy was a little too short. Didn't feel like much, especially for a title change at SummerSlam. And Liv and Rhea was pretty good too. So a 7.5 on 10 for me. And Gunther and Priest, my match of the night. And I believe I'm ready to show you some Johnny North footage, some shocking footage from Johnny North that we have obtained here on the program. Here he is. Look at this guy. Look at this big, mean guy. And look at the quote from Johnny North. Meanwhile, the end of Bushwhacker Luke, the end. Uh-oh. The end? That's Bushwhacker Luke, the legend. What's Johnny going to do to him? Oh, my God. No, don't do that, Johnny. What are you doing? That guy's very old. Oh, my God. Just devastating. There's Johnny. I guess he won the championship tonight. Congratulations, Johnny. Or maybe he's taking the belt. Probably taking the belt from the champion after he's beat him up. And look at Luke coming into the ring. Look at Johnny posing, dancing, causing glitches. And here comes Bushwhacker Luke, trying to help people, just see if everybody's okay. And what does Johnny do? Attacks him immediately for no reason. Oh, my God. Devastating. How could he do this? I mean, this is sickening behavior. That's not how you treat a legend, Johnny North. Why do you hit him immediately? You don't even give him a chance. He's in the ring, and Johnny, you decide right away, I see this guy, and I'm going to hit him. Boom. Pow. Pow. Those hurt like hell. And now he's yelling at him. You see that? He's yelling at him with his finger in his face. Completely rude, Johnny North. I'm a little bit ashamed of you, but I'm also a little bit proud. It's a weird feeling. This is where Johnny was tonight, beating up this older gentleman, Mr. Bushwhacker Luke. And just for fun, I'm going to look up how old Bushwhacker Luke is. 77 years old. Johnny North is beating up a 77-year-old man. He's nearly 80, John. What are you doing? I mean, this is just vile and violent behavior from my good friend Johnny North. The legendary Bushwhacker Luke taking chops. Listen to the sound. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm turning up the volume on this. You got to hear the sound of these chops. Oh God, it's horrible. That's a painful thing. Johnny North attacking the legendary Bushwhacker Luke tonight. Instead of being on the show with me, he's there looking jacked, holding wrestling belts, beating up all the wrestlers. Look at all these bodies in the ring. And he's like, here's another body. I'm going to whoop this guy's ass too. One of the Bushwhackers. Jeez. I don't know how you sleep at night, Johnny North. I don't know how you sleep at night. Maybe you like Rainier Wolfcastle. We'll find out. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This was quite a show. We learned a lot. We were shocked. We were appalled. We were proud. We had a good time. Here on the Ringside Report Network, as we always do. I'll be back on Thursday night for Ringside Report MMA. Big wins from Umar Nurmagomedov. Today in Abu Dhabi, Umar won, Shara Bullet won, Davison Figueiredo edged out a decision over Marlon Chito Vera. A lot of action from the UFC to talk about coming up on Thursday night for Ringside Report MMA, and then Johnny and I will be back on Friday night for Wrestling Uncensored every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Ringside Report Network. WWE is going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Friday night for SmackDown. They're in Buffalo, New York, coming up Monday night for Raw. And we'll be previewing Sergey Spivak versus Marcin Tybura coming up next Saturday in the UFC this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Ringside Report MMA. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here tonight on the SummerSlam post-show. A big special thank you to Antoinette, who gifted a membership tonight. Once again, very generous Antoinette, gifting the membership to Matthew Henley, who gave the show SummerSlam a 7 on 10, which was, kind of the average. Kind of the average for SummerSlam. So thank you, Antoinette, and welcome, Matthew Henley. Welcome back to the membership side over at join.ringsidereport.net. Good to see Derek John in the chat. Good to see Lior. Antoinette, of course, Franco316, Angelo Contagonis, Jimmy James, Ryan Katz, CSL Lorne, a lot of members joining me in the chat tonight. I appreciate you guys, especially when I'm solo. It's nice to see so many friendly members in the chat, so many familiar names and comments in the chat from the Ringside Report universe. So thank you all for joining me here tonight on the show, and I will see you again Thursday night right here on the Ringside Report Network. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time.